with Kyle Evans. Grow with Kyle Evans.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, good morning to you. Welcome back to another episode of The G.R.O.W Show, your daily checkup from the neck up. Coach Kyle Evans coming to you, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Maps Coach, Bold Coach, all the things. Let's dive in today, guys. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. We are in the second episode of what I'm calling the Marketplace of Mindsets arc. Yesterday, we talked about scarcity mindset, right? And how that shows up and the costs and the pay that we have to do towards that. And some of the ways to move from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. In our second episode of the Marketplace of Mindsets, today's conversation is more about, let's call it evolution. It's more about evolution. It's a critical identity shift from someone who is a hustler to someone who is an operator. So taking that internal representation, moving from hustler to operator. Now, let me be very clear. One of the reasons that you know and love me is because I'm super transparent. There's a saying in the South, in the deep South, that if you go to church and you listen to a pastor's message, you're just listening to him preach to himself for a little bit. Guys, today, this is one that I'm still working with. Like, I've done pretty well at it, but I'm still kind of fighting it sometimes. And different conversations lead me to believe that I have not mastered it yet. So let's see if any of this resonates with you and see if you can join me on our journey of moving from that hustler mindset to an operator, right? To that growth side on it. I want you to understand this. Every single successful entrepreneur, every single successful business person will hit a wall. They will. You will. I will. They will. It's all going to happen. What happens is this: we hustle our way into growth, right? We get there, we do the things, we're gritty, and we're moving and we're shaking and we're just refusing to lose. But one day, that very same hustle that built our success, it'll start to bury it. I want you to understand this line here. Chaos disguised as productivity isn't growth. It's noise. Now, let me say that again so I can get it through my own thick skull. Chaos disguised as productivity isn't growth, it's noise. The next level will require a different identity. The hustler, God bless him, builds momentum. The operator builds models. The faster we make that shift, the more peace we will find in our progress. The truth of the matter is there's this thing that I like to call the hustler's hangover. I want to be very real. Hustle built the foundation. Hustle built my foundation. Hustle got me out of obscurity. Hustle gets you out of that. Hustle teaches us grit. I'm not hating hustle, but there's a shadow side. It's the fact that hustle has no finish line. Hustle will take everything that you have under the guise called ambition. If you have ever said, if you're anything like me, let's just be real today. If you've ever said, I just need to get through this week, every week for a year, you're not growing, you're grinding. That's what I call the hustle hangover. You wake up busy, but not better. You confuse effort with efficiency. You're doing everything right, and yet nothing feels right. The hard truth is We don't have a time problem. We probably have a system problem. Here's a line that was told to me, and I'm going to tell it to you, and it hurt me, so I'm going to use it to hurt you this Thursday morning. You can't outwork what you failed to organize. Woo! We coming today. You can't outwork what you failed to organize. Buddy, if that doesn't give you goosebumps, I don't know what will, man. You can't outwork what you failed to organize, Kyle. Guys, we have to switch to the operator mindset. The operator plays a different game. They don't wake up hoping for momentum. They strategically design and implement it. One thing that has helped me take the journey from hustler to operator is understanding this exact phrase. So write this down, tattoo it on your heart, whatever you need to do. Operators think in models, not moods. Operators think in models, not moods. Our moods lie to us. They lie to us, and they're fleeting, and they come and go based on tons of different circumstances. Operators don't let moods dictate their actions. They let their models do. They build decision frameworks that remove emotion from execution. There's a man you may know, you may love, you may have heard about him before. He's got a big mustache and billions of dollars. His name is Gary Keller. Gary Keller said it best. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Gary Keller said it best. He said models before goals. I want you to think about that. Models before goals. Because goals without models are wishes, and wishes don't scale, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what the operator truly understands. Growth is simply math. Peace is process. Freedom, true freedom, especially in the business world, more often than not, is simply a formula. Operators don't ask, how do I sell more? They ask, what systems create more sales while protecting my energy? I had that question asked of me this past weekend, and I was like, man, that's a good question. It's not how do I sell more? It's what system creates more sales while protecting my energy. That's a different mindset. Like nothing against the hustler, but the operator thinks and moves differently. The hustler says, how do I sell more? The operator says, what system do I need to implement that creates more sales and also protects my energy? Guys, that's the difference between working in your business and working on it. Operators measure everything. And I got this wrong for so long. They measure everything not to be rigid, but to be real. Discipline equals freedom, as Jocko Willink says. They know what gets measured can be multiplied. I say that what we measure moves. What gets measured can be multiplied. But you got to look at life. You got to look at your business, your systems through the three lenses of the operator. You guys know I love alliteration, so I'm bringing it to you. The 3 Ds, the three lenses of the operator that I believe that each and every one of us should adopt or lean more into. Number one is data. Data. Emotions tell stories, numbers tell truths. Emotions tell stories, numbers tells truths. Emotions tell stories. Are you listening with me? Are you here today? Emotions tell stories, but your numbers tell the truth. A lot of times hustlers run on adrenaline, one deal to the next, one moment to the next. Operators run on analytics, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? It's because you can't scale what you can't see. Every business problem can be translated into a number. Gary Keller calls it the path is in the math. If listings are down, look at appointments. If appointments are down, look at conversations. If conversations are down, look at contacts or attempts. The data doesn't judge, it just informs. We need to understand that. The data is not judging, it's just informing. Your emotions, if they're anything like mine, which understanding that you have a pulse and a heartbeat, I'm pretty sure they are, your emotions can lie to you. The math won't. The math won't. Do you want to keep living in a story or do you want to live in the truth? So, number one, the lens we need to look at our life and our business through is data. Number two, it's delegation. Do what only you can do. I am better than the average bear at this, and I still have a long way to go. Operators don't cling to control, they build capacity. One of the things that I am waking up every day to do is try to inspire and educate and edify and teach and train leaders. I don't want to cling to control, I want to build capacity. Said another way, if you're doing 15 an hour, $15 an hour tasks with a $500 an hour vision, you are your own bottleneck. Look at my eyeballs. I'm talking to you. If you are doing $15 an hour tasks and you have a $500, $5,000 an hour vision, you are your own bottleneck. Delegation isn't losing control, it's multiplying it. If it can be taught, if it can be tracked, if it can be templated, it should be leverage. If you can teach it, if you can track it, if you can make a template out of it, that goes to leverage. You, me, we should only be keeping the parts that require our soul, our DNA, our fingerprints, the thing that only we can do and bring to the table. Leaders don't do more, they design better. They design better. So number one lens is data. The second one is delegation. The third, discipline. Discipline. I am still working and I'm doing better. I'm doing way better than once upon a time. And that's the beautiful thing about life. Consistency compounds. The journey, not the destination. I'm doing better than I once was. Understanding this, boring is profitable. Boring is profitable. When I understood that the health that I desired and wanted for decades of my life was simply a few boring, consistent choices away, everything changed. Everything. With speaking and coaching and talking that fills my cup that I love to do. When I understood that it wasn't just razzle dazzle, but it was also the boring repetition, skill set, reps over and over and over again, everything changed. Consistency, ladies and gentlemen, compounds faster than charisma ever can, ever will. And that hurts my soul because I'm a pretty charismatic cat. And I spent a lot of time floating in mediocrity because I was leaning into charisma instead of consistency. The operator understands that excellence is rarely exciting. It's rhythmic, though. I got some truth bombs for you if you haven't gotten them yet today. If you want a predictable income, you need to live a predictable schedule. There, I said it. It's out in the open. If you want a predictable income, you need to live a predictable schedule. Over the past couple years, this has been my rally cry. If you are on my one-on-one roster, you have heard me say this time and time again. What's the calendar like? What's the schedule like? Because if you want predictability with your income, it's got to be a predictable schedule. I know where I'm going, what I'm doing, and when I'm doing it. If you want freedom, build a calendar that deserves it. Success is scheduled, not spontaneous. It tastes like vinegar in my mouth to say it, but nothing is truer. Success is scheduled. It's boring. It's predictable. It's not spontaneous. Because there is an actual math of momentum. It's not magic, it's math. Let's make this very tangible for you out there. This is business planning clinic season. We've been talking about it amongst our peers and in our organizations inside of MAPS, Mastery, and Keller Williams. Every business, every industry runs on a conversion chain, like it or not. It's a fact, Jack. Conversations to appointments, appointments to agreements, agreements to contracts, contracts to closings, closings to referrals. Conversations, appointments, agreements, contracts, closings, referrals. You don't have a sales problem. You have a ratio problem. But once you know your ratios, you can own your future. If it takes 100 conversations for 5 appointments and 3 contracts and 2 closings, then growth is just math, baby. You don't need to be more motivated. You need to be more measured. Momentum isn't magic. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt, put it on a hat. Momentum isn't magic. It's multiplication. Momentum is simply just math, consistency over time. Here's the challenge, though. You got to build your predictable growth formula, whatever it is for you. You need to track every lead source, every stage, every win. Your next breakthrough probably will not come from inspiration. Your next breakthrough probably will not come from inspiration, but it more than likely will come from instrumentation. Here's what happens when you start to make this shift. Your day stops feeling like a sprint and starts feeling like a sequence. You go from guessing to guiding, from reactivity to rhythm. The operator mindset says, I trust the system I built more than the stress I used to live in. And that peace, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, that peace, that clarity is the real win. The system is the strategy. We don't rise to the levels of our goals or our dreams. We fall to the level of our systems. If you want the exponential growth, stop asking, how do I do more? And start designing how to repeat what works. Because if we make that switch from a hustler to an operator, and my God, do we love the hustler because it protected us. It started the journey. It got us here. It's okay to love it. It's okay to miss it. It's okay to feel some type of way about it. But what got us here won't get us there. When we say goodbye to the hustler and step into the operator, chaos becomes clarity. Hustle starts looking more like habit. And growth almost certainly becomes guaranteed. The system is the strategy. The system is the strategy. The system is the strategy. You can't outwork what you failed to organize, Kyle. That quote will live with me for a while. You can't outwork what you failed to organize, Kyle. Boring is profitable, ladies and gentlemen. Glad you were here today. I trust that some of these points, some of these moments, some of me talking to myself landed for you. And I hope it will do the same thing for you that it's doing for me. It's making me better one step at a time, one day at a time. Because I know where I'm going and I know why. And my question to you this Thursday morning is, are you coming with me? Thanks for being here today. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Grow with Kyle Evans.